So guys, in part one of this build, you've seen me lay out the actual string lines, dig the footers, and pour the concrete footers. You also seen this clip of my camera falling over. But we got right back to setting the string lines back up on the footers. That way I could mark my corners and put some chalk lines down. Then I went straight into doing corners. I did that first corner over there actually in the dark with just lights plugged up, so I didn't film it. It was very bad film quality. But I'll film this corner for you guys. What I did was use a plumb bob in that corner and actually just came down and found my corners, and then I just pulled chalk lines from the corners, and that gave me a chalk line to reference by to lay my corner. I hope that makes sense for you. If you don't, leave a comment below and I'll try to explain better. But then we just went straight in. I seen on YouTube actually where if you're laying corners, however many blocks you want to go high, you want to do one more block than that on your first run. So I wanted to go 5 block high, so I laid 6 blocks, and that should make 5 blocks high. And after I got that corner all the way up to my 5th block high, I knew that this down here I had to connect into the house. So I actually started laying my first couple runs, because there'll be some cut pieces, which I'll actually point out here in a minute, that I was going to have, and I didn't want those little small cut sections over there that's going to be covered up by field dirt. Here, I'll show you. I'll put an arrow just a second pointing at that cut piece to point it out to you. Once the field comes in and we get landscaping and stuff, you'll never see that. But I'm having to tie this structure into the existing block on the house. And as you see here, I laid them all up and got over here to where I had to start cutting and make some funny block laying. Actually, I used some pieces of block to kind of gap the difference between the block wall I'm building and the footer on the existing block wall. I had to use some pieces of block just to fill it, and I'm filling those with concrete, so it's really no big deal. But you see there what I did. I cut a small piece of block and laid it under that one to get my block level and put mortar on it. And then I had to cut some small pieces just to tie it in. I mean, when adding a block wall into an existing block wall, you have no choice but to cut a few blocks. Guys, I don't know, that's only my second time laying blocks, so I did my best. I think it looks pretty good though. I'm a rookie for sure, but I'm learning. And you know, us DIYers can be hard-headed sometimes. And what I was trying to say there, guys, us DIYers can be hard-headed sometimes and try to do everything yourself. But here I'm going to show you how I mix mortar. I put in a half a bucket of mortar, type S mortar, 2 full buckets of sand. That's a 4-to-1 ratio. 4 parts sand to 1 part mortar. So a half a bucket of type S mortar to 4 buckets of sand. It doesn't matter what kind of size buckets you use, just make sure you use that 4-to-1 ratio. That's what I found to work the best, and I did a bunch of research online, and that's what a lot of people use. Some use a 3-to-1, but I found the 4-to-1 worked better. And just mix it up and make it look like instant mashed potatoes. So guys, we went to the other side and started laying the block over there, and I done it the same way as the other side. And when we got up against that house, we just had to cut those blocks again. But I lay all the blocks up until the cut ones and do all the cut ones at one time. I find that to be a lot easier just by this little project taught me that. And then the brother-in-law came over and helped, and we had about 60 more blocks to lay, and I wanted to try to do it in this one evening. So he came over to help, and we got about 60 blocks laid in a little bit less than, I think, 2.5 hours. So around here, people are paying $3 a block to get block laid. So if you do the math, we're making over $30 an hour if we're actually doing this for somebody. But, you know, that's kind of crazy. It's good money. It's hard work, but it's good money. I don't think I want to do this full time by no means. It's very rough on your back and your body. So they deserve the money, but that's just a little insight on here in Kentucky. That's about what people charge nowadays to lay block, is $2 to $3 a block. Also, while doing the front block here, you can see we can actually use a string line and pull from corner to corner, and that makes it tons easier when you're laying block. If you have a string line to lay to, then you can just check level front to back, and then you just lay the sides to the string line, and you know it'll come out perfectly even all the way across. But we just buttered our line and buttered the blocks, and we got this done, like I said, in a couple hours, guys. Guys, I hope this trailer can hold it all. Got all that still to put on there. Guys, I just got back from Lowe's with a load of lumber. It got dark the other night and I didn't get to show you this, but we core filled the corners of these block, and then I put rebar. I mapped it out, marked it out, and put rebar where I have my J-hook anchor bolts coming up. And the way I figured out where I had those rebar is I put X's where the rebar was drilled into the footer. And some of them don't have it because I had extra concrete. So like right here where my steps will come up, I just core filled all them, and only a couple of them's got rebar coming up in it. But there's my J-hooks, anchor bolt J-hooks. They're set in the concrete. Look good. I will now get the adventure of unloading all that wood. It's going to be fun. Well, I ain't going to unload all of it. I got to get those 6x6s off to get down to that lumber underneath them. But it's still going to be fun. But I think those blocks turned out pretty good for a rookie. I do say so myself. We just filled the core of the block, let it set up for a few minutes, and then put these anchor bolts down in there. And then let the concrete harden around them. And that's what we'll fasten our seal plate to. I'm using 2x6 for a seal plate. And I got seal, that foam stuff to go on the bottom of them. Here's a quick peek of what it looks like before the porch is on it. I'm excited to get it on there. So guys, I knew with winter right around the corner, it's getting dark earlier, I was going to need some kind of light source, because when I remodeled my house in Stanton, Kentucky, I did probably 50% of the work in the dark with lights set up, and I just had like old shop lights rigged up and shining on the house when I was doing the vinyl and stuff at night. I remember one night I was out there till 2 o'clock in the morning hanging vinyl up on the gable end of the house. My wife came out and said, "You got to be up early in the morning for work, you better come in." But anyway, you got to do what you got to do to get things done sometimes. And you can see behind me here, I'm going to start off. We got to pull these fake posts down on the house and pull that bottom row of vinyl off so I can attach my, I guess you would call it ledger board, that my deck will hook to. I can run it across the back of the house, and I'll get the laser out and put a laser line up, and that's how I'll get it level with the front part. But I'm just going to get straight with it. I'm sure I missed something that I'm going to do, but as you can see here, guys, I removed those fake beams they had on the house. They were actually just some 1x material with cement, like that Hardy cement board on the outside, painted white. And then the film quality wasn't good, and I noticed that after a while, so I actually turned this time lapse off. So guys, I've been doing some work off camera because it's been getting dark early, and I've been working after dark with some lights, and just the film quality ain't no good. I tried doing a time lapse and it still didn't look good. You couldn't see much. I'll probably throw it in the video just because. And but I'll kind of walk you through what I've got done. So far I have ran my seal boards on top of the concrete, anchored those down. I put seal foam on the bottom of them. I've also made my band board that runs along the house and bolts to the house in the concrete block. And this is about a 26-foot span, so I couldn't find it without special ordering it. So what I did was just got me two 2x8/16s, and I used some mending plates, like some from Samson Strong Tie, just 2 little plates. I'll show you that. And I took and mended those 2 boards together. Under those plates I put some Lexel sealant, and that stuff's supposed to bond to anything, be super strong. So I put that mending plates on, put the Lexel on them. I got all my seal plate boards, like I said, on, and now I'm getting ready to put my band boards up, and I'll show you guys that. Hey, this morning hopefully we can get some footage. It rained some last night, but it's a beautiful morning, and Lord's will, we're gonna get right with it.